Welcome back. While the rest of the country is concerned about food security, Amadiba farmers have had a bumper harvest. The Eastern Cape farmers are now donating their produce to KZN communities hit by the recent unrest. Amadiba says they know this is not a long-term solution, but hope it will give some short-term relief. It also hopes government will take note of their productivity and stop plans to mine the area. Joining us now is spokesperson for the Amadiba Crisis Committee, Nonhle Mbutuma. Nonhle, thank you very much for your time this morning and for agreeing to speak to us. So, I want to start off by finding out from you the history of your relationship as the Amadiba farmers with this community almost 2 hours away from you along the coast of KZN in a completely different province. Why was it your decision to help the community of Abahlali Bazemjondolo just north of Durban?
Good morning. Thank you so much for inviting me. Yes, Amadiba Crisis Committee and Abahlali Bazemjondolo have a long history of supporting each other. As Amadiba Crisis Committee, we're facing quite a lot of pressure where the mining company want to take our land. And Abahlali Bazemjondolo, they were always with us and supporting us in a difficult situation. And also during the assassination of our late chairperson, Bazuga, they were always with us and supporting us to defend the land for us. Now, after we just heard that Abahlali, they lost their houses during the unrest, it was a long overdue as community of Amadiba to pay back to be in solidarity. That is why when we heard that their houses were burnt down, and then we take our own harvest from our own garden to support the Abahlali to make sure that they have something to eat during this difficult time. To make sure that this tribalism or racism, it doesn't take place in South Africa because it drags us back to the apartheid regime. That's what we're doing to make sure that there is no racism, there is no tribalism. We support each other. It doesn't matter which province you're coming from, but we need each other as a country to make sure that we are doing good things, not to kill each other.
So you're also facing challenges not just from the mining sector, but also from the transport sector in terms of the N2 that's sort of threatening arable farmland close to the coastline. And despite all of these challenges, you've managed to, raise bumper crops this year. Tell us a little bit more about that and how you've been able to raise such incredible crops and have such a good year when everyone else is essentially having a very bad year.
Our land is one of the most land that is so fertile, and it's a hub of agriculture. And we hope that also the government of South Africa can see that. As the other farmers, they were being hit by the global warming. There's no rain, but in our area, there's also a lot of rain, enough for our farmers to do agriculture for themselves. Right now, we are not only facing for the mining where it want to take place, to take land in our community, also a push of building the highway through to the same land where we do agriculture. But for us, in terms of the highway, we are not saying that we are anti-development. We are for development. But what we're asking from the government of South Africa is to move the highway away from us, because we need to be accessible, but not with the highway. We need our access road to be built, to be looks good, to be accessible, to be movable. That's all what we're asking. But to build a highway through the land, you push the community to poverty, you push the community to dependent to the state. But at the moment, we are self-sustaining ourselves. We are dependent on ourselves. That is why in South Africa, the poverty is so high, but in our community, not even one household or child sleep without having food, because we have fresh food, we have enough food to eat for ourselves and also to share to others. That is why we supported our government that they must listen when people, they said what type of development they want to see. Agriculture is the most important for our livelihood in Amadiba. But to push to build the highway and push to build the N2, it will cause a high poverty in our community. We need our community to be accessible, but not the highway. Highway is quite big. It's going to take a huge land where the community will lose the land.
Well, thank you again for speaking to us this morning. Commendable reaching out to communities in KZN who were hit by the unrest there. That was Amadiba Crisis Committee spokesperson Nonhle Mbotu.